I'm there.
Oh my God, it's time to double push.
Oh yes, it is time for the double push here at thelibertyline.com.
I'm doing this right.
Dude,
Oh no.
Very nice.
My AirPods just disconnected from my computer.
God damn it, Samuel.
All right, now we're good. Now I'm doing it. Hold on.
All right, write a post? Nah, just post it. I need to write.
God damn it, Samuel.
Oh, wait. Oh my gosh, this is so trippy.
903, something wrong with the pod. Bob, I'm going to fucking stab you.
I'm going to kill him.
Oh my gosh. I
hate this.
Bob was up on our Twitter.
Okay,
all right.
I posted it on Facebook, and now I'm going to retweet it on Twitter. I got to figure out a better system on how to do this because
this is hard. This is hard. This is the double push is not our strong suit.
Nope. I was not prepared for that.
The Liberty Line. Like, retweet.
Just get there. We got 10 people in here. We got to get.
Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. All right. Like and retweet.
Yeah, like and retweeted.
Let's go.
3, 2, 1. Philly!
Hello, everybody. Hello, Philadelphia. Welcome back once again to yet another edition of the Wolves of Broad Street podcast. As always, my name is Ryan Conway, and joining me here is my illustrious co-host and wartime consigliere, Sam Glavin. And, of course, we have our incomparable producer behind the glass, Seamus G. We love big, multi-syllabic adjectives here at the Wolves of Broad Street. And we love Philadelphia sports as well. But, as has been the trend for the last couple of months, they're more and more difficult to love. We saw the Eagles go down this weekend in a hard-fought battle against the Kansas City Chiefs, which we'll get to in a second. The Sixers continue to be mired in the Ben Simmons controversy with the trade request. We're going to get into that in a little bit because holy shit, some funny stuff has come out with that. And, of course, we're not going to talk Phillies, but, we'll talk a little baseball, a little wild card because, the spirit moves us, and it is our show. Sam, how are you doing, buddy? A lot has gone on in the past, 7 days since we last spoke to the audience. What's up?
Not much, man. I mean, in terms of like my life, I started teaching some kids at the high school in my college's area, which is kind of crazy. That's horrifying. Something I never thought I'd do. Dude, people were calling me Mr. Glavin. No. That was the weirdest. It's the weirdest feeling in my entire life. People calling me Mr. Glavin. I'm 22 years old. Right.
That's cap.
I'm not even 10 years older than these kids, and they're calling me Mr. Anyways, in terms of sports, I thought I'd be feeling worse after the Chiefs game. Obviously, they lost, and I feel like shit, but they are. That's great. Thank you, Seamus. That I thought I would feel worse, but honestly, I really didn't think they played that terribly. Like I was okay with Nick Sirianni's play calls. Minus the red zone. We're just not even going to count the red zone for right now because he just forgot how football worked when he got into the red zone, and that was just a mind fuck in and of itself. But I thought the play calls up until the red zone were phenomenal. I mean, they were getting to the red zone every drive they had. There were zero punts in that football game from either side.
That was crazy. It took me so long to realize that, and then the broadcast brought it up, and I was like, oh yeah. It's just because we went for it probably every fourth down because we were playing the Kansas City Chiefs and we couldn't get a stop to save our lives, regardless of what we tried. Not that we really made that many adjustments, which was surprising. Which, of course, we'll get to in a little bit, talking about Jonathan Gannon's defense. But
of course,
sticking with the offense right now, like you said, Sirianni was a competent play caller in 80% of the field. But when he just needs to get a yard –
it's so unbelievable. It is so incredibly frustrating. I'm like, dude, just run the ball up the gut. Just run it. You just need a yard. And he's calling like a pitch play to the outside. Oh, he's gonna revert, toss it back to the. Oh, he's gonna throw it into the end zone. Like, dude, you need a yard. A yard. And you're trying to be Mr. fucking genius. It's like Howie Roseman on draft day. It's the worst.
It's like Howie Roseman, 4th round and later, just like, let's get weird. Let's completely throw all convention out the window. My least favorite play call of his in the red zone was motion, sending Miles from Jalen's left out to the right into the flat, and no one else is moving. Miles is moving, and then they throw him the football 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And the Kansas City defense, which is, it's a good defense. It's not one of the best in the league. They read it like a book because it's the one guy that's moving. Everyone's standing and watching him. It could not be more obvious where the ball is going. So while it was encouraging to see more motion, pre-snap and right at the snap, because we didn't have any of that against the Cowboys, it still wasn't, the creativity when you needed it. It just wasn't there. We were getting chunk plays. And like you said about running the football, man, we're still having this issue, not running the football. We had 69,000 fans at Lincoln Financial Field chanting in unison, "Run the ball."
Yeah.
That's never happened before in the history of the Philadelphia Eagles. And Andy Reid and Chip Kelly and Doug Peterson all coached here back to back to back. My entire life, those three guys have been our head coach, pretty much.
Yep.
And now, and only now, are we saying run the ball. That's how out of hand it's gotten. Granted, Miles, when he's had the ball, I mean, I'm biased, A, because that's my running back one, and B, because it's my running back two in fantasy, and he's really killing me. But he just doesn't seem as decisive hitting the holes. But at the same time, we see Kenny G shining in his limited touches.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different, there are a lot of question marks. It's like, are we really approaching this in the best possible way with the run game? Like, is the reason they're not running the football because they don't have that level of faith in Miles that maybe they have in Kenny G, but they can't, openly say that.
I don't know if it's so much as the lack of faith in Miles. I think right now it's the lack of faith in the O-line. It's the same story with the O-line that it was last year. I mean, the only guy that's still healthy right now from the week one starters is Jason Kelce.
Yep, as usual.
It's literally the only guy. So I mean, it's the same story, but worse because it's a year later.
Yeah, it's the same thing happened. And I remember Vic sent in the chat. He sent out a tweet. It was the classic meme, Will Smith at the end of like the Fresh Prince when it's the house is empty. He's like, that was Jason Kelce like this time exactly at this point in the season last year.
Yep.
And it's just he just sent it. He was like
the same shit. Yeah.
Just same shit, different year with the O-line. We had 4 of our starters out. We had the guy that started at right tackle for us, Jack Driscoll. He thought he was starting at guard until 2 hours before the game because Lane Johnson had a personal issue. I'm not going to blame Lane. He's earned his, he missed one game. If he had something really serious that he had to go do, I'm not going to pry. I'm not going to ask. I get it.
It's fine.
So that's something that, I'm not going to blame Driscoll, and only so much blame right now I can put on the coaching staff, but you should have your guys prepared for everything. So that was a little concerning to hear.
For sure. And I think it just sucks because when you have a guy like Miles Sanders, you want to give him the touches. But when I think about it, I mean, everybody's like, oh, run the ball, run the damn ball. And I'm sitting there like, with what offensive line? I mean, I get trying to take some pressure off of Jalen Hurts, but if we're going to take pressure off of Jalen Hurts and lose a couple of yards, I'd rather him just try and throw the ball and gain some yards. I'm seeing both sides of the argument right now. I just don't. Because you don't want Miles Sanders to get hurt, God forbid. And if those offensive lineman guys come back from those minor injuries, hopefully Mailata is good to go in a week or two.
Yeah.
Hopefully Lane Johnson figures his stuff out. And I don't know how serious Brandon Brooks is, but I mean, at this point, we've been playing without Brandon Brooks for 3 years now. So
yeah.
It doesn't matter.
That was a pretty easy one obviously not easy to stomach seeing one of your best O-linemen go down, but it was easier to stomach because we've seen it 3 years in a row now.
Yeah.
He's not done for the year. He is on IR, so we might see him week 8, maybe.
Yeah. Right.
Maybe
so I was saying, if those guys end up coming back and we don't have Miles Sanders because he got hurt because the scrubs were in, then I'd be.
Well, I mean, you can't play like that. You can't play we don't want to get our guy hurt trying to win a football game. It's a football game.
Well, I know, but
there's this one great answer to a press conference question. Of course, not out of Philadelphia. This is out of Los Angeles, surprisingly enough. One of the Chargers coaches, I don't know if it was a head coach or a coordinator, some white guy, but he gave a very nice answer about the importance of the run game. Obviously, there's the basic, you run the ball, so then they have to play the run. But it's also engaging the defense in that, extra level of physicality. If you're having Jalen Hurts throw the ball 50 times a game, you're not punishing their defense at all. They don't even have to make a tackle half the time because either someone catches the ball and runs out of bounds or it's incomplete. And that's basically kind of the obviously a less, eloquent version of that guy's answer. But it is really something that is important to realize, even if we've got the scrubs in, even if we don't have our best offensive line talent, like the goal is to win a football game. And we've got to run the football to win games more than we're doing with Miles, with Kenny G. I don't give a shit who runs the football as long as it's one of our running backs and we do it consistently and we establish the run. If we get down in a hole early, that'll happen. But we need to wear teams out.
Have we even had like guys like Boston Scott? Is Boston Scott hurt? Or
I don't know where he is.
I haven't seen anybody on the field, like in the backfield, other than Miles Sanders or Kenny Gainwell. Like that's literally it, which is kind of weird. I don't know. It's eerie in a sense,
It's odd. There are a lot of people speculating that Kenny G is going to take that running back one spot away from Miles, if not this season, at some point down the road, which, I could see it happening. I mean, the shelf life for a running back in the National Football League is not particularly long. So it could happen, but there's just, and even beyond running the football, there were a lot of great things that we saw on Sunday. I mean, we torched the Chiefs for a good, part of the game, but our issue was penalties as well. I mean, you take a look at, we had 3 touchdowns called back because of penalties.
Yeah.
That's heinous.
And 3 of them this year have been Devonte Smith touchdowns. He's only got 1 touchdown on the year, and it's the first ball he caught. Right? I saw that the other day, and I was like, what? Because he's had like 3 called back.
Mm-hmm. He had the one where he was pushed out of bounds, but he was also pulling the defender. Here's the thing. That's not a bad call. It's just, I think that's dumb. I think if you get pushed at it, I just think the rule's stupid. They called the rule correctly. The officials did their job by the book. And so I can't, on that one play. The officiating in general was, another issue all weekend across the National Football League. But on that one play, the officials did do their job correctly, as annoying as it was. But we had 3 touchdowns called back against the Kansas City Chiefs. You're not going to win football games like that. Even if it's a fluke penalty that's now happened twice to us, a receiver stepping out of bounds and then reestablishing and being the first to touch the ball. That's happened twice. I rarely see it, but you just can't win games like that. And that's just penalty. Penalties in general are an issue. But when they're taking scores directly off the board,
bad.
It just doesn't make sense. It's just
how many do we have against the Chiefs? It had to be at least 2, right? It was bad. Well, yeah. I mean, as long as we got them up with the offense versus the Chiefs, 30 points again. That should be scoring 30 points is fine. That's a good day for the offense. Did we score 30 points once last year? I don't think so.
No.
So 2 fumbles, 367 total yards, 387 pass yards, 6.6 yards per play, 6 for 12 on third down. That's not great. 29.08 time of possession, 53 plays, 48 pass, 19 rush, still not great. 9 penalties for 49 yards, not great as well. The one thing I will say is the time of possession is up, which is good. And Seamus G is saying that we did. Oh, yeah, that's right. We did not turn over on those 2 fumbles, which is also good.
Yeah.
So those are decent offensive stats. Those stats should get it done. Minus if you take out the penalties, those stats get it done.
Yeah, those stats get, and then also if your defense plays even halfway competent,
right? And that was the big problem. They gave up 40 points. I mean, if your defense gives up 40 points, you're losing that football game.
Yeah, but here's the thing, man. 30 points on the board, 3 touchdowns off the board. That's 21 points. That's a 51-point game for the Eagles offense without those penalties.
Yeah.
Now, probably the flow is different, so that it doesn't happen that way, blah, blah. You can't draw that conclusion, but just simple math for me. I'm not I'm not one of those, I'm not a calculus 3 guy. I'm very much a pre-algebra guy right now. No.
Yeah. The what's it called? Never mind. I forgot what I was gonna say. You can continue.
Yeah, but I do want to get to the defense because we are. I mean, it's someone's from the defense is going to the doghouse, obviously. But before we do that, we'll do just talking about the offense still just a little bit. Jalen Hurts, man, is figuring it out a little bit.
Yeah.
32 of 48, completing 66% of his passes, 307 yards, 47 rushing attempts. Like this is a football player right here.
Yep.
This is real deal stuff. I mean, the QBR is kind of low. Would have liked, part of that is the passing touchdowns were down. He could have had 5 instead of 2 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was difficult. But Jalen Hurts right now is, he's playing football. He definitely has figured out the deep ball a little better. I think he's throwing them a little earlier. I think he knows that you can't underthrow guys. You're not throwing to CeeDee Lamb at Oklahoma anymore when he's getting covered by a Texas Tech third-string corner that's on a half scholarship and has a calc test on Monday. Like, that's not who you're throwing to anymore. That's not who you're playing against. No, you're playing against NFL DBs. It doesn't matter that you have the Heisman winner in Devonte Smith. You got to put the ball where nobody else but Devonte Smith can go get it. Nowhere else. It's just what needs to happen. And that's what he was doing.
Yeah. Devonte Smith is the wide receiver 1 of this football team, and he proved it in flying colors last week. It was awesome.
No drops.
Did it. Yeah, 0 drops. Oh man, and over 100. He had 122 yards, I think, which is absurd. Like that's awesome.
That's great.
He was just taking the top off of those defensive backs, man. It was great.
He owned the Kansas City secondary. It was really something to marvel at what Devonte Smith has done. I mean, obviously it's what we expected, but we don't always get what we expect here in Philadelphia. So it's nice to see a draft pick have us go, hey, you're a draft pick. Come play here and be as good as everyone says you're going to be. Normally they go, no, I'd actually rather not do that. I'd actually rather be bad. And which, that's their personal choice. But I'm glad that Devonte Smith has chosen to continue to be good at football as opposed to some other first round picks in the city of Philadelphia within the last 5 years or so.
Yeah, I don't know who you're talking about, but yeah.
Because there's been so many. It's hard to narrow it down.
It is.
Am I talking about Jaleel Okafor? Am I talking about Ben Simmons? Am I talking about Markelle Fultz? Am I talking about Derek Barnett, Andre Dillard? Or who am I talking about? Jalen Reagor? That's 6 guys in the last 5 years minimum. Like it's brutal. It's brutal stuff.
Fine. We're fine.
But that I do want to sign off with that in terms of the offense. And Sam, what do you say we just hop into the doghouse? Brought to you by Wide Plank Floor Supply. Yeah. I don't know why I said it like a question. It is brought to you by Wide Plank Floor Supply. Visit their website at www.wideplankfloorsupply.com. Get a recommendation for a contractor. Get a quote. Wide Plank Floor Supply. If it's wide, they've got it. Sam, who you got in the doghouse this week, buddy?
I've got I think he's been in the doghouse before, but we're gonna throw him in again. It's our good friend Bob Bahara, aka Bobbert, aka Robert Bahara. Yeah, he's just an idiot. Everyone. So listen, every Wednesday we go live. Like we make it a point now to be live on Wednesdays because that's when we're all free, and we do that. And we've told Bob this. We've told him multiple times. Hey, we can do our show 9:00 on Wednesdays. This is when we do it. Get used to it. So every Wednesday at like 8:30, Bob is like, podcast tonight? Podcast? Yeah, 9:00. I'm like, yeah, Bob. Yeah. And then last week he didn't even show up. So you can't have it both ways, Bob. Yeah. So you're back in the doghouse, you whore.
Yeah, man. I got a text from him tonight at 8:30. No show tonight? I'm like, bro. It's half an hour before show. Like we're in our meeting right now for a scheduled 9:00 show, 9 p.m. on Wednesdays.
Any number of Eagles players or coaching members could have gone into the doghouse this week. I didn't want to put Nick Sirianni in the doghouse once again because I thought he caught a decent game. So, and I just didn't want it. I just needed to get that off my chest.
Mm-hmm.
Bob, we love you. Like you're our number one fan.
That's our guy, obviously.
Dude, figure it out. Like if you're gonna be our number one fan, figure out when we're gonna go live. Like that's it. Ryan, who do you have in the doghouse?
Who do I have in the doghouse?
Yeah.
Man, I have got Jonathan Gannon in the doghouse because that son of a bitch doesn't know anything about anything. I don't know.
2 weeks in a row, 40-plus points. 2 weeks in a row. When does that happen?
The Jim Schwartz defense had never given up 40 points. Or maybe they did it once.
And we used to complain about that guy.
We used to complain about a guy that averaged 17 points a game as a defensive coordinator because our offense was that shit. Now we got an offense that has at least talent on it. I don't know about the red zone play calling. And Andy Reid ran the ball all over us. The pass-happy king of the mid-aughts ran the ball all over us. That is how bad this Eagles defense is right now. And it's the complete lack of adjustments. I mean, Atlanta tore us apart on their first 2 drives when we played them. Yeah. And then he changed some shit up a little bit, and he fooled them. Now, granted, this is the Kansas City Chiefs. They're going to score points. But we've got NFL talent on this team in this secondary. Yeah. Our signings this year, Kerrigan, Zach Wilson, other guy, Anthony Harris at safety.
Harris,
yeah. Steven Nelson, number 3.
I feel like he's been
nowhere.
All of these Steven Nelson has a perfect quarterback passer rating against him right now, which is awesome. That's really good. 153 or 156.3 or 153.6 or something like that. Whatever the perfect score is, that's what he has on him.
Yeah.
From this past game, which is phenomenal. I'm so glad we signed him. Idiot.
That was so bad. It's just embarrassing. And then when asked about it afterwards, going, so on these plays, why don't you take a defensive lineman off the field, get another defensive back, get a linebacker off the field so you stop getting burnt by the 3 fastest guys in the National Football League on the one team?
Did you see Vic's TikTok today?
No, I did not. I don't go on TikTok.
Oh my God,
anymore.
It was so funny. It was literally Eric Wilson guarding Tyreek Hill in the red zone.
Oh, that was so bad.
I was like, what? Are you kidding? We're gonna have not only like one of our worst running back, or linebackers. Like, I would rather put, if we're gonna put a running back on him, you can put Singleton on him, because he's the most athletic linebacker that we have right now.
Yeah.
But just don't put a linebacker on Tyreek Hill. Maybe don't put a linebacker on the fastest guy in the NFL or the most electric playmaker in the NFL. Maybe don't put a linebacker on him, you idiot. What? It's common sense.
You dumb dummies. So Jonathan Gannon getting the doghouse. We're going to keep talking about the Eagles defense right after this. Brought to you by Wide Plank Floor Supply. Visit their website at www.wideplankfloorsupply.com. Get a recommendation for a contractor. Get a quote. Wide Plank Floor Supply. If it's wide, they've got it. Go check out their showroom warehouse in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. Roll up. They got floor-to-ceiling planks of all widths. I mean, you can get a thin plank. If you go up and you go, hey, can I get a thin plank? Big Joe be like, come here. Yeah, don't tell nobody, though. Don't tell nobody about the thin planks. I'm telling you. You tell them Ryan and Sam sent you. They'll hook you up with a wide plank or a thin plank. Doesn't matter. But Sam, this Eagles defense did not lay the wood.
Cheese.
42 points allowed. 200 rushing yards against Andy fucking Reid. 271 passing. When Andy Reid beats you with 42 points and he puts up less than 300 yards with the best quarterback in the league, arguably, in Patrick Mahomes, and one of the most lethal passing attacks in the history of the National Football League, that's how you know you're fucked. That's how you know your team is completely fucked. When the guy that was criticized for a decade plus in Philadelphia for not running the football enough runs it all over your bitch asses for his 100th win for his second team. Ridiculous.
Yeah, so ridiculous. Funny, dude. I can't believe it's a guy, and it's again, I like Andy Reid. I do. I mean, he's just
yeah.
I just can't believe I'm sure he was cackling behind his playbook. He's like, oh my God, I don't even have to do anything. I could just hand the ball off. Oh man, what am I gonna get for dinner later tonight? Oh,
he's thinking about cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
He's thinking about hitting Philly Country Club, getting some sweet potato fries.
Absolutely.
It's some nice, just a nice weekend back home. Speaking of nice weekends back home, how about Urban Meyer? Just real quick, talk about not playing defense whatsoever. Holy shit.
Oh, are we going to talk about that right now?
Yeah, let's talk about it just a little bit, just real quick.
Yeah, I mean, how dumb can you be? Like, you're a Ryan, I got no words. I really got nothing for you.
Dude loses a game and then skips the team flight home. And then there's a video of some John grinding up on you, a 50-plus-year-old man, while your wife is at home babysitting the grandkids. Are you kidding me?
That's just classic.
What
we all knew Urban Meyer was a dick, but like this is a whole new level. Like
he's such an asshole. He is such a loser. I mean, he's a winner. He's a proven winner, actually. But he is such a loser.
Yeah.
He said it's Alabama every week. If I'm a player, I'm out. Like if I'm a player, I'm out, bro.
Seamus G is out too. Nobody else can see that, but that's pretty funny.
But back to our defense.
Yeah,
defense. Just look, 1 sack. Awesome.
That's brutal. And it was Javon Hargrave, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
I don't remember exactly.
Hargrave.
He's been amazing.
He has been amazing. I've been very impressed. He had a very bad season last year.
He was not great.
And now he's stepped up big time. But another guy just on the completely opposite spectrum, Fletcher Cox, has been nowhere to be found. And he's supposed to be our star. He's the leader of this defense at this point, right?
There's no Brandon Graham.
No Brandon Graham. It's got to be Fletcher Cox, and he is just crap in the bed. Like, what are you going to do? You're not even getting double teamed, according to Seamus G and Ryan, which I didn't know. I was trying to make excuses for Fletcher Cox pre-show, and I was told that was wrong. I was like, oh man, then he's got no excuse. Then whatever.
I tried to make excuses for Fletcher Cox in the TLL chat to Jack, and he was like, no, Conway, he's been getting no doubles really. And I'm like, oh, awesome, great, okay. Well, I'm not going to question that. That's
X's and O's
football guy. All 22 film haver. he's got the primo camera angles. But dude, I just don't know what the deal is with this defense. And Seamus G is reiterating it in the private chat, and you'll see it here down at the bottom placard. 9 for 10 the Chiefs were on third down.
That's
9 for 10. No shit, they didn't punt. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
9 for 10 on third down, and you gave up 42 points. Yeah, no duh. No duh, Jonathan.
That is so bad.
Like Ryan Kerrigan recorded his first stat as an Eagle. He's a double agent. He's a Washington.
I forgot he even played for the Eagles. We were so excited when we signed him. I just forgot. You just reminded me that he's a Philadelphia Eagle. I cannot believe that.
Like I saw him lined up. I saw him lined up, and I was like, who the hell is number 50? I'm like, who is this guy? And I don't think he's number 50, but that's not the point. The point is that who is this guy? And then they go Ryan Kerrigan. I'm like, oh, the guy who I lauded the signing of for a long time when he did get signed by the Philadelphia Eagles. I thought that was going to be a great pickup. I thought he was going to give us intel on Washington. I think he's giving Washington intel on us while destroying us from the inside. That is more likely than him actually having signed a contract to come play football here. That is far more likely.
I agree.
It's ridiculous.
I don't know. I just can't believe that I forgot that he was on this football team. And
I believe it. I believe that you forgot.
Why hasn't he got? Does he suck? Like, is that what's going on, or is he?
He's probably old and washed. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Look, I mean, if Washington didn't want to bring back their franchise cornerstone for like a decade on a team that's really not that good, it's good, but it's not that good. Yeah. There's got to be a reason that he's gone, right?
Talk about a complete.
I just guarantee you that he's getting like $1 million under the table from the football team to fuck on us. I swear to God.
Yeah, talk about a complete 180 in terms of what we thought these teams were going to be. Like the Washington football team, their defense is not all that we thought that they were going to be. They've been giving up points left and right. They can't seem to gel very well. And it's the same for we thought the defense was going to be the strong point of this team. We had no idea what the offense was going to be able to do at the beginning of the season. We were like, we're just going to have to rely on the defense when it's been the complete opposite.
No,
the absolute 180, but terrible.
It really is. It really was terrible, dude. Just thinking about our just how down bad we were last week after the Cowboys game. Listening back to the episode, there are just some dead air for like 5 seconds where we just had to collect our thoughts because we were so downtrodden. I think now I'm definitely in a better mood. Honestly, before we logged on, I was like, I'd rather like be working in a coal mine all night than have this episode. Like, I don't want to talk about the Eagles at all. I despise them. But it's been tough. I mean, it's a little more palatable considering it is the Kansas City Chiefs, removed 2 years from a Super Bowl with, most of their core still there. And we gave them a fight. We did what we could. But c'est la vie. You know what I mean?
I know. I just can't get over the fact that like we had a lot of question marks coming into this year. And the things that we did assume are not anywhere near what we thought they were going to be, like the defense. So, and I did not think we would be third in the division at this point right now at 1-3. But I did forget that I know Seamus G when he was cutting up the highlights, and he was he did like the pregame or the pre highlight thing where we get the stat or the win-loss record when we went through the schedule. I can't believe I forgot I got that. I forgot I picked that. The Cowboys.
Yeah, I totally forgot you picked the Cowboys too.
Yeah.
You literally said we can't pick the Cowboys against the Eagles to me. And I was like, you're right. So I'm going Eagles. And you're like, yeah, I don't think we're going to get the win tonight. I'm like, you totally dated and switched me on that pick. You sick, you slimy fuck you. You
slimy fuck you. Dude, I still haven't watched The Many Saints of Newark yet.
I haven't either. I've heard horrible things.
I know, and I didn't want to say it just in case you did see it and you were going to be like, yeah, I can confirm. I haven't seen it.
I don't have any. I haven't seen it. I wanted to watch it before the episode tonight so we could talk about it a little bit.
Yeah.
Next week. I just saw an article that Gandolfini's son had never seen The Sopranos before he auditioned for the movie, and that alone tells me everything I need to know. Like, it's just like
shit.
Like I'm just like awesome. That's
God
good to know.
It.
It's just ridiculous, man.
Oh my God.
It's just ridiculous. And want to know what else is ridiculous? Want to know what else? Just the entitlement of youth that is so absurd.
What is
Ben
it?
Simmons. Ben Simmons.
Oh my son of a
shithead. That shithead.
I don't.
Which we'll get to in just a moment. But first, we got to run through the betting lines brought to you by Sportsbook Redacted. Over under 45.5. We're playing the Panthers. We should preview the game a little bit.
Sure. I guess.
The Panthers. We're playing the Panthers. Over under is at 45.5. The Eagles are 3.5 road dogs. What do we got? We got Devonte Smith. His line's at 60.5 receiving yards. You see that right there? That's up from the start of the year. That's an easy over, I would say.
Yeah.
Sanders 46.5 rushing yards.
Under.
Hurts rush 47.5 over. Put his line at 100. And Ertz's line is 27.5.
Wow.
All right, I'm definitely starting Dallas Goedert in fantasy this week.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, the over under for the line for the game in general, 45.5. I'm hammering the over too. The defense has just been letting up 45 points every game, so I mean, might as well take hammer the over there. So
I'll tell you this, Sam. The Panthers have like a historically great rushing defense, which honestly plays right into our hand because we don't run the ball. Yeah. So they're
jokes
screwed.
On them.
They're
Idiots.
completely screwed. Those dumb idiots.
Rats.
So what are we doing here? Dub? No. Loss.
Simply not. Yeah.
It's a fatty L. They did trade for Stephon Gilmore, but fortunately, the defensive player of the year is still on the physically unable to perform list, so he won't be back until week 6. So we're missing him by literally a week.
Good.
Which is huge. So their pass defense, J.C. Horn is hurt.
Yeah, I saw him get hurt. That was a non-contact injury too.
Yeah, that's not great. So he's out for the year. So that secondary is depleted. So that is something that this offense can take advantage of. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. We're going to have to establish the pass to get the run game working against this Carolina defense. It's going to be the exact opposite of what we'd had.
Everything about this football team is backwards.
Odds Miles touches the ball 20 times. Odds Miles touches the ball 20 times out of the backfield.
10-1.
And gets stuffed. 20 attempts, 50 yards on the ground. That's the over. That cashes, but it's not yards per carry. It's just yards. It's just yards. That'll be
I
interesting.
hate
So a
this
loss.
football team.
Do we have a score prediction?
No.
We're giving up 4 touchdowns minimum.
Yeah, probably.
So it'll be 20.
I'll give you a score prediction. Just relax, Seamus. I'll give you
28-24 maybe.
I'll go with I'm gonna go with 32-28 Panthers or something like that. Yeah. Let's go with that.
Cool.
32-28
Word.
Panthers.
All right, Panthers going to beat the Birds this week, and I would like to beat the shit out of Ben Simmons. So let's talk about it. Ben Simmons is a dirty hooer. Simply put, this whole Rich Paul debacle has really blown up in his face. The Sixers withheld $8.5 million that were due to him at the start of training camp, put that into an escrow account, and as he continues to go, they're just going to withdraw money from it. And Rich Paul and Ben Simmons went to the NBA Players Association going, "Oh my God, can you believe the way they're treating us? Can't we recoup some of this lost money?" And the Players Association went, No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
This is in your contract, and it's in the collective bargaining agreement. If I'm Ben Simmons in that moment, I look at Rich Paul, I go, "Are you an agent? Like, what is it that you do? Like, you don't know the rules? Like, you think because you force Anthony Davis out of a market where nobody gives a shit about basketball, force him out of New Orleans with a year left on his deal to go to the Lakers, you think you're going to do the same thing with Ben Simmons with 4 years left on his deal in the fourth largest media market in America, in the most volatile, vile, violent, horrific city in America that I love so dearly? It's not going to happen, Rich. It's not going to happen, Ben. Have fun. Have fucking fun, buddy. I don't care what we get for you. I just hope that we have, every time Ben Simmons comes back to Philadelphia, we have a free throw competition. One lucky fan shoots 2 free throws to win $1 million of Ben Simmons' fine money. I think that is beautiful. I think if we can pull that off, either when he's a visitor or when he's forced to sit on the bench when he eventually reports because he's a bitch, like we all know he is, I'm just excited. I do really think that would be a big draw to pack the house and really get the fans going.
For sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'd go. I'm
buying multiple tickets and to empty the seats so I have a better chance of being selected to win that $1 million. That's an investment, by the way, is what that is. That's not gambling. That's an investment.
That's big brain. That's big brain.
I could definitely do better than 38% from the line. I know for a fact that I know that
I could.
I said this all the time 2 seasons ago. My sister, when she was a bench player that never got minutes, did a 100 foul shot thing for charity. Mm-hmm. And you pledge for every make. She hit 73 of 100 as a bench player who plays field hockey in college, does not even play basketball, hit 73% of her free throws. Same distance, same height, just a little more. My sister has more balls than Ben Simmons. I can't believe it. I can. You know what? I actually can.
I sure as hell can. Ryan,
it's crazy.
I've had this conversation for many years now.
Yes.
And I've had more of this conversation now more than I have in the past 3 years because of the bullshit that Ben Simmons is pulling. And people really coming up to me being like, "Wow, I remember talking about this with you 3 years ago, and it looks like you're right." And I was like, sorry. Like, guy's always been a puss.
Yep.
Always has been. So I take him for a bag of peanuts and a pat on the ass on the way out the door. I'm pretty sure I say that every episode too. So,
but it's okay because I love it and it's true. Yeah. If we could just, here's what I want. We got to trade Ben Simmons to the Brooklyn Nets for Kyrie Irving, and then Kyrie will retire, and that will free up cap space for us to go sign a max free agent. I think that's the best case scenario. With this,
you really think the Brooklyn Nets are gonna give up Kyrie Irving?
No, Katie's not gonna let that happen. But also, Kyrie's not vaxxed yet, and New York's got pretty strict vaccination regulations, and he has yet to report to camp. He hasn't played in a single preseason game, and the season starts in like a week or two.
Trading a bitch for a bitch. That's
bitch for a bitch. Hey man,
Yeah.
sounds like my love life. I'm kidding. Sorry.
Anyways.
One thing I did want to say about Ben Simmons before we go ahead, just talk a little AL/NL wild card situation,
Just some
MLB
baseball.
playoffs.
Just
Yeah,
baseball.
just talk baseball because fuck it, right?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's be bad. But Ben Simmons, there was a report to Philly Voice. Of course, I mean, these are sports reports from the Philadelphia media, so how true they really are, I don't know. But this I choose to believe is true. Multiple reports, conflicting reports about Ben Simmons, about why he wanted out of Philadelphia. But according to Philly Voice, the one thing that all of the sources had in common was that Ben Simmons felt that essentially the Sixers got too good too fast, that he was drafted, was hurt, and then came back and was honestly the franchise point guard on a 50-win team. That's
too good, too fast.
But and
Only
I honestly, I know, right? It's crazy. I honestly understand like the logic behind that statement because you take a look at most number 1 overall picks. They go to a shitty franchise and nobody cares about them. Karl Anthony Towns, everybody's just happy that he's in Minnesota. Everybody's just happy that he's there. Meanwhile, in Philadelphia, and they're not making the playoffs at all. Meanwhile, in Philadelphia, he's winning 50 games as a second-year play, and we're like, how about a little more?
Yeah.
Which is how it should be. You should want to win. Do you not want to play basketball to win? So this whole argument that Ben Simmons' development was placed under a microscope because he was on a great team with an MVP caliber player in one of the top markets in America, and that can be a recipe for some psychological, wear and tear. But you're making $30 million a year. You can afford a pretty good therapist for that. So a lot of people don't have access to that.
Ben Simmons needs more than a freaking therapist.
He needs a lot more. I wrote an article for the libertyline.com. I'll tweet it out after the show. Ben Simmons needs to go on a journey where he finds himself.
Is this a part of the series of the journey through the Himalayas?
It's just that. It's just that one. It was
that one from a while ago?
Yeah, it's just the same one. I didn't do a new one. I haven't written in a while. I got bitched. I got bitched last week.
Yeah, that's good.
But what can you do? But just the fact that I understand that his development was put under a microscope earlier than most number 1 overall picks, that his timeline was accelerated compared to other number 1 overall picks, but the hype for him was the only number 1 overall pick that I can remember that was really hyped as much or more than Ben Simmons would be Zion Williamson.
Yep.
At least in recent memory.
Agreed.
I mean, Markelle Fultz, no. There was hype, but like there's draft hype every year. DeAndre Ayton, no. Ben Simmons was billed as the second coming of LeBron. Do you want to know what LeBron James did?
Sports Illustrated, yeah.
In his 4th year, he carried the shittiest team in Cavaliers history, probably, and he took all these bums to the finals. Meanwhile, Ben Simmons is like, I have an MVP and strong role players around me, and that puts more pressure on me. No, it doesn't. It takes pressure off of you. It allows you to develop. It allows you to make those mistakes because it's not going to impact the winning. But no, it's not about the team. It's not about winning. It's about you. It's about your ego. It's about making money, and it's about being a superstar. That's all it's about for Ben Simmons. And everyone can say, oh my God, Ben Simmons is getting treated so badly in Philly. Shut the fuck up. Who the hell are you? You're some jackass from Milwaukee. You don't know a goddamn thing about sports. I know you just won a title, but you know a goddamn thing about what we've been through with this guy. So many people taking a side that just tuned in a year ago. We drafted him in 2016. It's been 5 fucking years. So much societal change has occurred since Ben Simmons became a 76er. And he's the same guy. Everything's changed but him. It's ridiculous.
Oh,
It's really frustrating.
It's so funny. I just laugh at it this way. I used to get super mad. This was me, Ryan. This was me 2 years ago.
Yep.
And I used to get super mad about it. And now I just laugh because it's hilarious. Ben Simmons is a joke. He's a joke. Get him out of my city. Let's talk some baseball.
Let's talk baseball, baby. So AO wild card last night. Garrett Cole had a NOLA.
Yeah, what was that? Aaron Nola on the mound last night?
Yeah.
Idiot.
It was so bad.
Christ. You rat. He looks even more like a rat without the beard. I never thought I'd say that about a person. That's the dumbest rule, by the way. I'm sorry. The Yankees fans think it's like the coolest thing. Oh, yep. Got to
Cut the hair.
Got to be clean shaven. Play for the Yankees. Yep. Get the fuck out of here. It's the stupidest thing in the world. We're in the 21st century.
It's like Joey from the Bronx with his beer gut hanging out of his like medium Bronx Bombers t-shirt. Like saying, "Oh yeah, that's my team. That's the clean cut guys I root for." While he's got fucking hoagie juices all over him, got gabagool in his hair. Like
I gotta tell you, it was the best thing watching the Yankees just lose last night, and lose on the back of their $300 million pitcher Garrett Cole, who was compared. I saw this thing. It was like on Freezing Cold Takes or something, and it was like a picture from 2019, a picture of Jacob deGrom and a picture of Garrett Cole. Who's the king of New York?
How is that ever a question? How is that ever a question? Garrett Cole almost cried because he couldn't use spider tack. He almost cried in a press conference because he got asked about it. Yeah. No shit, he's going to blow up on the mound in a win or go home wild card game on the road with a 2-syllable name in Fenway Park. It's over.
Away.
Garrett.
It was so funny. That guy the guys in my house started doing that as well, and it was making our Yankees fans so pissed. Oh my gosh! So I got to tell you the story. So I told them this pre-show. I told Seamus and Ryan. I had like 15 guys over at my house on my baseball team. Half of them were Red Sox fans. Half of them were Yankees fans, and I was the only neutral party. And it was the coolest thing to just sit back and watch it all unfold. That had to be great. Best. It was so cool. It was the second best thing to being at the game. Like that was awesome. And I saw Yankees fans just like start to tear up a little bit. I was like, dude, get the fuck out of here. Like you guys suck. You guys shouldn't have been there in the first place.
No,
should have been the Mariners unless they didn't shit the bed. I would have loved to see the Mariners in that. And who cares? Like they were talking about it before the game. They're like, oh yeah, like if they lose, like whoever wins, they're just gonna get blown out by the Rays. Yeah, no shit. Like have a take.
Like care about your team.
Yeah.
Like pick a team. One game you can't pick a winner. Fucking loser.
Yeah.
What?
Stupid.
It was nice to see. It was nice to see the Yankees lose, even though after years behind enemy lines in New England, watching the Sox and the Pats win a lot during my time there.
I've never had an issue with the Red Sox.
I've never had an issue with the Red Sox. It's just more that I had to hear people singing "Sweet Caroline" until 2 a.m. And I was trying to sleep because I didn't care because I was just like, whatever. I don't, screw it. But hey, man,
I know it was a great game. What was freaking Pavino or whatever? I forget what his name is. The third base coach for the Yankees. What was he thinking? Sending Aaron Judge on that? Are you
Judge can barely run to begin with. He didn't play the field half the season. The reason I know this is because I watch John Boy Media a lot. I didn't follow the Yankees. John Boy mentions it. Him and Stanton, they don't play the field. You're going to send Judge around third to go home and win, in a do or die wild card game.
You have to know the ballpark. Like Fenway, Fenway's been around long enough where there is a scouting report on the like everybody knows that the big fucking green monster is right there. And if Giancarlo Stanton hits a piss missile off the green monster, I don't care if it goes 400 feet, it's going to be a single or a double because he hit it so damn hard and it's going high off the wall.
Yeah.
How in the world are you going to think Aaron Judge is going to score? The only reason Stanton got to second base is because the throw went to home.
Yeah. Wall played great defense.
Stupid.
Dude, it was such an interesting game, especially just because Fenway is just for a wild card game for a do or die, one and done. That's a shitty ballpark if you're the visitor to go into and just be like,
the worst. I would hate to go into Fenway.
You just got a lefty line drive pull hitter. You got Rhys Hoskins in there. He's just like, fuck this. I'm not going the other way. God damn it. I'm not doing it. Let me up the launch angle.
Right field at Fenway Park is so bogus. Pesky's pull. That's so funny. It's the best.
So I was scrolling through YouTube today, and sometimes I'll just get like random like MLB The Show clips for some reason that are like 5 seconds long. And one of them was like the shortest home run like ever. And it was just like a pop-up that someone spooned out to right, and it just kind of slowly worked its way around the pole. That like should have been an out in any other ballpark. And I'm just like, It was like that Acuna home run that we saw like 2 seasons ago now that shouldn't have gone out. That still sticks with me. That still haunts me.
I know exactly which home run you're talking about, and I hate I hate that I know what you're talking about. Like, I have a problem.
It's just bad.
I have a problem. All right. As long as we're talking about baseball, I guess we should talk about the Phillies. I mean, like we should. I don't want to, but we should. So, Ryan, they finished with a winning record. Yay!
First time in franchise history, right?
Yay! So great. So great. Get the fuck out of here. Are you kidding me?
Girardi's got to go.
10 years.
TV's got to go.
10 years they haven't made the playoffs. They
Dombrowski
went 82 and 80. Get Girardi out of here. Get Middleton. Sell the team. Revamp the whole front office. Maybe keep Dombrowski. I don't know. Maybe he's got something up his sleeve.
I don't know.
I don't know at this point.
I don't know.
Get McPhail out of here. I don't care if he's a Dickinson grad. Get him the fuck out of here. He's terrible. Just terrible. Clean house. Clean house right now.
This is an organization that is rotting at its core.
Mm-hmm.
It's the second longest postseason drought in history. And we were 1 game away. If the Mariners had won their game and the Sox lost or the Yankees lost, the Mariners would have snapped their like 11-year versus 10-year playoff streak, or missing the playoff streak. And we'd be stuck at the bottom. So we're fortunate. We're fortunate the Mariners didn't make the playoffs, because otherwise we would be the team that it's been the longest for them to see the playoffs. We're like the Cleveland Browns of baseball or something, right? Or
I think
something
that's
like
right.
that.
Yeah.
We're so bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's sickening. It's sickening, especially because we had such good teams. Actually, SB Nation made a nice video about it. They have a series about collapses where you examine the highs of a franchise and then just boop. And they stopped at 2016. 2015 or 2016 was when they stopped. And they were just like, we don't even really need to keep going. Because it's brutal. Because the collapse began, or it was really like the peak of the collapse, like 2011. That was it. Yep. And then all the wheels fell off. And it's been 10 years since.
Mm-hmm.
I remember 10 years ago. Let's run through what you and I were doing 10 years ago.
I don't know. How old am I? I was 12. What grade are you in when you're 12? 6th grade?
Yeah, it's 6th, 7th grade.
Yeah, 6th grade. I was let's see. I was playing CYO baseball and what else? Learning about Jesus in religion class.
Nice. I was reading Animal Farm.
Yeah.
I was learning Algebra 1, maybe.
I don't think
maybe
Algebra 1 yet.
Well, I was a little older than you.
That's true.
As I still am and will remain.
Yeah. No catching up.
No, I fucking got you there. You son of a bitch.
You got me.
What else was I doing? I was like, I don't know. I was
still in Little League. I was in Little League. I was playing Little League baseball.
Video chatting with girls on AIM. And with one of my buddies, and we were DMB, this is fucking crazy. Yeah. We've been just sitting in our room reading books, thumbing our assholes for the last 13 years, which is pretty much what the Phillies have been doing for the last 10.
Yeah.
Just sitting there.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Just ridiculous.
I think I had gotten my first iPod that year as well, which is awesome.
Dude, I don't even think was Netflix streaming in 2011? I think Netflix was in its infancy sending DVDs.
DVDs, yeah.
I think the Blu-ray.
The DVDs.
Blu-ray just came out. I don't even think we had gotten Cars 2 yet. And if so, we were definitely not at Cars 3.
No, Cars 3 was very, very recent. It was when I was a senior in high school, I think, which I guess was 4 years ago at this point. Fuck me. But
you know what Ben Simmons was doing 10 years ago?
I don't know.
Asking his dad to teach him how to free throw shoot, and he was getting ignored.
And
a
then
lot.
not listening. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No. It's not that he wasn't listening to his dad. Is that his dad just did not care for him. I assume.
That's good.
I assume.
Yeah.
I have no proof of this. I have no proof at all.
It's bad
He just-
parenting.
He just seems like a guy that does not have a good relationship with his dad. He just
Probably
seems
not.
like the lack of respect for his coaches. Like that's
Yeah.
clearly a
Mhm.
daddy issue, right?
Yeah. If he was my kid, I would hate him too. I mean,
I would hit him. No, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. I might Tiger Woods his dad him a little bit and like throw golf balls at him while he's swinging or shooting or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that one basketball
soft.
coach. Dude, Bob Lee was on ESPN on Outside the Lines in 2011. He's
Stop.
so retired now. He is
Oh
like
my
so
God.
aggressively retired now.
Yeah. He was old back then. Like,
Yeah. He was winding down in like 2014. He was like, I'm getting old. Like it was 7 years ago.
I think that's a quote, actually.
I'm getting old.
I'm getting old. Oh, that's funny.
I joined Twitter 10 years ago.
Oh, see,
Maybe.
I wasn't me. I didn't join Twitter until a while back. But
Maybe it was 2011. Maybe that was 2012. Close enough, dude. Close enough.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even.
I know.
Dude, that was like before. Like, I mean, I always liked basketball, but that was before I truly was. Maybe that's why I love basketball so much. But the Sixers
Because of
sucked
the
then
Phillies.
too. Yeah,
No,
because of the Phillies.
that was the Sixers' low point. I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure baseball used to be my favorite sport. Like, I feel like there was a point in time
You're
baseball was my
pretty
favorite
sure?
sport. I'm pretty sure. I don't know, dude. It was a long time ago. And the Phillies have sucked for a decade. That's almost half my life. You think I really remember anything? No.
No.
Oh my God. And now I get to go watch the NL wildcard game because I watch baseball
Yeah, we watched
for
baseball.
some reason. It's weird. You want to give him the
hockey's
sign off?
Hockey's starting up soon. Yeah, well, no. Well, before we sign off, I got 2 words for you. Ready? It's Gabe Kapler. Manager of the year. There it is.
No.
Attaboy.
Well, like no shit, right? Like
yeah.
like yeah. Like
Why
yeah.
wouldn't he be?
He did an incredible job with a team that was not slated to perform, and he went out and won a shitload of games.
Here's the thing about Gabe Kapler. He's got, you want to know how many coaches they have in San Francisco?
Like 30.
14. They
That's-
have 14 coaches in San Francisco.
That's an organization right there.
Yep. They said, fuck it. We're just going to get a lot of coaches and have a lot of different perspectives and have a coach like basically for each guy on the team.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what it is. Have a coach individually work with each guy on the team. Look where they're at. And now Gabe Kapler gets all the fucking glory.
Yeah, manager of the year.
Because he's in a sound organization and that actually like cares about baseball and actually knows how to do it. So that's awesome.
Yeah, dude. San Francisco Giants. There was a crazy stat that I saw on Twitter. Not advanced. Don't worry. There was no calculations. The Dodgers went on one of the most historic runs after they traded for Scherzer. They went like 39-10 or something like that after they got after the trade deadline, and they gained like half a game on the Giants.
They just kept winning.
Because they just kept winning. They couldn't make. They had one of the best stretches in Major League Baseball history and gained half a game.
I think the series ended up at like 10-9 Giants.
Yeah, hard fought.
Which is absurd. So yeah,
What a
apparently
life.
Seamus G is giving us live updates. Justin Turner just hit a game-tying home run. It's good to see him back in form.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
It'll be an interesting down the stretch
Except
game.
I do want the Cardinals to beat them.
Oh yeah,
but
they got Waino on the mound.
Yeah, Wainwright. Mm-hmm.
They got
and I love Yachty.
Dude, Yachty's the man. He had right before like we came on here. I was watching, and he had like a ball in the dirt that he tried to backhand, and it didn't work. But I think it was Mookie on first base. It was Mookie Betts is on first base, and the ball flies up in the air, and it's not too far away. So Yachty gets to it quickly. Mookie takes like one step and is like, "Fuck that."
Nope.
It looked like, oh no, Mookie could take like 2 bases on this, and it's just like Yachty's like, "Let me calm, cool, collected," and Mookie's like, 2 steps. I'm just gonna go back to first. I'm not playing that game. Like, so many people have played that game and lost. Foolish Baseball did a great video on Yachty too. It's like teams don't even try to steal on him anymore because it's just like it's not even fun.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Like,
you just get out every time.
Out. Yeah, it's like
it's about as guaranteed an out as you can get. Like it's so funny. Oh
ridiculous.
man! All right, I think that about does it. We've been talking baseball. That was a great baseball talk. I'm excited to keep talking baseball with you as long as long as the playoffs go. Go Rays!
Go Rays!
G-Man Choi, go Rays! Yeah, we're Rays fans now. All right, thanks everybody for listening to this edition of the Liberty Line Podcast Network of the Wolves of Broad Street podcast. And follow the Liberty Line PHL. I do that every time at Liberty Line PHL, thelibertyline.com, and at Wolves Abroad ST on all social media platforms. Buy a t-shirt. Just go buy one. Buy a fucking shirt. Do it.
Fucker.
Yeah, idiots. Shames G. Close us down.